Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's UBNradio.com.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, love, laugh, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Fay on UBNradio.com.
And welcome. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon on Universal Broadcasting Network. Broadcasting out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California, and now every Thursdays on my CNBC channel, KCAA AM 1050 Thursdays at 7 p.m. And this is a show about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, and no K-words, no Kardashian talk at all. In fact, there's no BJ talk, no Bruce Jenner talk now as well, too. And it was kind of funny. Did I mention that on the way back in the shuttle, when I came back from Sedona, the guy that was in the shuttle with me actually worked for the Kardashians. So that was kind of funny, but we still don't talk about that because I want you to focus on your own reality show, your own life, and not on other people's who really don't matter. And so the topics that we cover on this show, if you've been watching for a while, are things that will increase your happiness 88% of the time. And it is that Marvin Gaye time of the month, the last Tuesday and Thursday of the month, when we address one of those things that absolutely influences your hope and happiness, and that is sex, pleasure. And so this special series called Sexual Healing with Dr. Marissa was started about a year ago. And I have to say it's one of my most favorite series because I can talk about sex in a very positive way. And I think it's important that we do because otherwise, if we don't talk about it, it's left to that dark side and the underground side. And the only thing that kids these days seem to learn about sex and pleasure is through porn or their peers. Neither P is the best. So I wanted not necessarily to talk about this for the kids, but when we as adults can start talking about it in a safe way. And I'm determined to make pleasure a G-rated topic or a G-spot rated topic, then we can begin to address and improve our happiness. And this series actually was started because women, I saw the statistic that women, up to 80% women, will fake their orgasms. And that tells me that there's something wrong with what we're doing in pleasure. As well, many, many women have a real rough time looking at themselves and feeling attractive. And so that's why I wanted to start doing this. And we've been doing it with lots of experts, Davey Ward, tantric specialist. I've had Lou Paget, authors, Dr. Pat Allen from Millionaire Matchmaker. So lots and lots of experts, but I've never had men on the show. And my assistant producer, Jarvis Essex, said, isn't it about time we had men on the show to give their side of their take on this whole aspect of pleasure? So I had him put a panel together for me. Actually, I called my buddy, producer and director, Victor Battle, and he put the call out to some of his acting and modeling clients. And so we had this cattle call that showed up on my doorstep. And unfortunately, we have too many. So Jarvis is not going to be on camera. And for all of you Jarvis lovers who were hoping to see my good-looking assistant producer on camera, you're just going to hear his voice. So he is going to be here. Say hi. And he's going to help me conduct myself for the rest of this hour. And before we do that, I do want to give a couple of peace shout outs to people, fabulous people that I've crossed this last week. One is an 86-year-old Beverly Brody, who is just this wonderful, wise, happy woman. And she had a couple of questions that one was about pickup mentality. She doesn't understand you guys' pickup mentality. And then we do have a picture that I got from Starla's Boutique that kind of summarizes many women's attitude about men, which is boys I choose ice cream. So for those of you who actually are contemplating choosing boys instead of ice cream, today's show is for you. And one more shout out. I had a fabulous time last night. I got to see a very good friend of mine, Marianne Lewis, perform with this incredible 17-piece big band. So a shout out to all the fabulous musicians in Paul McDonald's big band. So peace in, peace out to all of you. But on to the show. Here we go. We have 3 hot men in my studio, and I'm going to go around and ask you to introduce yourself and just a little bit about you. And I know I'm asking you to represent all men, but if you could give me let's see, this would be interesting. Okay, so your name that you're using today, and then maybe your ethnic heritage, and how many women would you say you have dated or had a relationship with in your lifetime? So you don't have to give an exact number, but, over 1,000, between 500 and 1,000, between 10 and 100, like a roughly about, okay? And I'm Clyde. Jarvis, you also have to do that. Clyde's parking. He's on his way. So here we go. Let's start to my right, and I have Ramon.
Yeah, my name is Ramon Espinal. I'm originally from Lynn, Massachusetts. My family's from the Dominican Republic. And I never really sat down and thought about how many women I've dated, to be honest with you.
Okay, like over 10?
Yeah, definitely over 10.
Okay, over 100?
I don't know if I did all
Okay,
that.
so somewhere between 80 and 100, let's say.
Yeah, we'll give it that.
We'll go there?
Give
okay.
or take.
All right. Cool. Next.
My name is Jimmy Everett. I'm originally from Washington State. I'm a Danish white boy. And I really don't know my number either, but probably between 10 and 100.
10 and 100, that's safe.
Yeah,
that's
a safe number.
That's good. That's good. Welcome to the studio, by the way.
Thank you.
My name is Joshua Jimenez. I'm from Ventura County, beautiful town named Santa Paula, and I'm more on the conservative side, I guess. Mine have mostly been relationships, so more 4 or 5-ish,
4 or 5-ish,
more longer, relationship types. Yeah.
All right. And Jarvis?
And my name is Jarvis. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, and I would say between 10 and 100 as well.
They're like all playing it safe. Nice. All right. And so let's start with the first question. And I know there's going to be differences between men age-wise. I'm not going to ask you. I try to pick you middling so that I don't look too much like a cougar. But so you're all, you're not young. But so the first safe question is, I have a lot of women listeners who complain that chivalry is dead. Okay, so opening doors, walking on the splash side of the sidewalk, paying for dinner, asking a girl out without texting them and saying, you want to hang out? Like you actually call and say, would you like to go out for dinner with me? And all of that. Is chivalry dead? Start with Josh.
I don't think it's dead. I think there's a lot of guys out there that do practice chivalry, and I think maybe some of it might be the type, maybe what the woman gives off. I think a lot of chivalry starts with how much respect the woman gives themselves.
So you're blaming it on us?
No. I'm saying that guys can only do, if it's a woman shows that she respects herself and is a strong woman, it almost forces a guy to be chivalrous because that's what kind of expected in a way. You know, maybe.
So, okay, if a woman's strong, you're saying that demands chivalry, or if a woman's acting more. Okay, let me give you a great example.
Okay.
I sit in the car, you're driving, and we get out of the car, and I sit in the car and wait for you to open my door. How long am I going to be waiting?
10 seconds.
10 seconds?
Yeah,
so you go open the door?
Yeah.
You go open the door?
Yeah.
Are you lying to me?
Especially if it's a date. You know,
Especially why?
especially on a date and you trying to impress somebody.
Okay.
I don't know,
then-
maybe my old lady now would probably say, yeah, right to me. And you will never open my door.
Oh, yeah, this could be going against you, right?
Yeah.
You're in a relationship now?
Yes, I
Okay.
am married.
And you're married?
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you been married?
6 years.
6 years. Okay. So did you open her doors before you got married, or
Well,
in
here's the
that
thing,
first?
I mean, the whole opening doors and all that other stuff. I mean, it's, to some people that might seem like something, but when me and her got together, we became friends real quick. I mean, so through that friendship, it was nothing for me to do nice things to her. So I don't know, it wasn't, or for her. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like I had to go out of my way to, oh, let me open this door, or let me do this.
So you went the friend route, so you didn't have to impress her. Is that what I mean?
I guess you could say that.
I'm teasing you. And before now we're complete. My panel is complete. Someone was parking their car. Clyde Terry, welcome to the show. And I've had everybody say their name that I just said, yours, and your dating history and your heritage. So
my dating history, like
about how many women have you dated? We've had 10 to 100. We've had 80 to 100.
I don't know. I stopped counting at some point.
Okay, so 1,000. So we're at 1,000 with Clyde.
Well, you have to, because it's all semantics, I guess. But when you talk about dating, I mean, I've dated a lot of, I guess, for the sake of whatever was going to happen next, we called it dating. But I could say like relationships. I've been in 5 relationships in my life.
Okay.
I've dated a lot of people for the sake of calling it something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 80 to 100.
I don't probably. I stopped counting.
Okay, 500. We're up to 500. Okay, and African American is your heritage.
Yes.
Okay, and so now that our panel is complete, could you please give the men a round of applause? Welcome to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa. Sexual healing series. I'm the new Asian Dr. Ruth. Okay, so here we go. You missed the first question. Is chivalry dead? I'm just going to go because we've got a limited time. The next one I'm going to ask is when do you want to have sex? So no, wait, that didn't sound right. I meant like if you're dating, okay, so you meet a girl, right? And you like her. And you go on a date. How many dates do you think you should wait before you go in? 0. 0? Okay.
Yes.
So any woman, like all those, the rules book, right? And Steve Harvey says 90 days. I think that's what he says, right? I say 3 dates. That's my magic number. 0. Why 0?
Well, I mean, I say 0 because it's all up to another person's interpretation. Okay, so Steve Harvey says 90 days. Well, that's something that's a number that arbitrary number he just pulled out of the sky somewhere, right? So, because here's the thing, a lot of things can happen in 90 days, but if you and I have this chemistry and the energy's there right now, I respect myself enough, and you respect yourself enough, I would assume, when I say you, I mean in a general sense, that a person will respect themselves enough that this is something you want to do. I mean, it's not like you're just some person flying off the handle, like I'm going to just go screw everybody. If the energy's there, it's there, right? So why stop it because of somebody else's rule, right? Now, if you find out later, and like for me, I just come from the thought that, why am I going to spend 6 months getting to know your representative, right? let me tell you who I am up front. You tell me who you are up front, and then if we vibe, we vibe. If we don't, we don't. Right? We could go 90 days and then end up having terrible sex, and then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm gonna get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I still got to pay the piper.
You are the piper.
Jim, why are you nodding?
I'd have to agree with him. I believe if the energy's there, you should just run with it. You know, you never know. You know, like you wait 90 days, and like he said, you know, you might not even have great sex, and then obviously you're gonna take a step back in that relationship and maybe want to move on. So you basically wasted 90 days of not being up front, than when you could have just got it done and out of the way and figured out where you're at in the relationship.
Okay. No. You don't want to say anything? Jarvis is not going to say anything. Come on, this was your idea. What are you saying? Are you saying anything?
Well, I agree with Clyde. I mean, if the energy is good, why wait? Put a time frame on, when you want to experience that.
I'll tell you why we put the time frame on. Because women, not all women, but I know there's a belief out there that if you give it up too quick, the guy is going to think that you give it up all the time, and you now have a label of being easy and loose. Okay, wait. Josh.
Yes.
Too many men here. No way, I didn't say that. I'd never say that. Okay, Josh.
Yes.
Respond to that.
Okay, yeah, I see that side of it. I think women look at sex differently than guys. It's more serious, kind of more sacred of a subject. And I think if you really like a person and things are really good, then you don't really have to rush it. And maybe it's sometimes good to take things slow when something's really serious, So I see in that way, if a girl were to give it up more quickly, a guy might interpret that as being maybe a sign is, okay, this is not that serious, maybe because of trends.
Do you interpret it that way?
I would, if I really liked a girl, I wouldn't mind seeing her make me wait a little bit, because you want to, yeah. I think it's okay. I mean, if it's going good and it happens, then I don't think it's a really horrible thing. But doesn't it stay in your mind at all? Okay, so you're saying no, of course, to back up your story, and you're saying no to back up your story. But see, this is that thing. This is like, you cannot have it both ways. You cannot say a girl is loose if she sleeps with you on the first date, and at the same time, the woman can't say, or why can't a woman say, if you really respect me, you'll wait?
Well, we're not saying, I don't think that what Clyde is saying is on the first date, because that's subjective. Say, for instance,
he said zero. Zero is the first date.
No, zero. No, what I'm saying is zero. There shouldn't be a time limit. It's whatever energy's there. And I let me just clarify this.
Okay.
I'm speaking of people from a higher state of consciousness, not just somebody out here running around and we're at the club and let me hit this because I can hit it, or somebody that I think is just an easy piece. I'm talking about people who are coming from a higher level of consciousness, thinking, so that when we're talking, there's an energy that exists. There's a synergy that exists when we're talking, and if that flows, then it flows. I'm not saying if you don't sleep with me the first day, I'm going to leave you, or I'm not going to mess with you. I'm just saying that if the energy's there and we're flowing, you're smart enough to know who you are. I'm smart enough to know who I am. But I would think this too, that you say, well, I would think that maybe there's something that I bring to this game, to this table, that has you want to sleep with me on the first day. Not that you sleep with everybody else, because I just think of myself as being somebody who taps into or taps into or unleashes that inhibition that another person has, that we can even communicate on a level that they would normally have. Like, they're like, wow, the conversations we're having, I've never had these kind of conversations with somebody. So it's from all of those different places. So it's not just let me hit it and see if I can get it the first night. It's not that. It's from a whole different place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Ramon, without giving away what happened with your wife? You said you were friends with your wife first.
Yeah, we was actually real cool.
But comment on this. Comment on
here,
this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I didn't mind waiting for her,
Okay.
but at the same time, I didn't feel like waiting.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Did you wait?
Yeah, a little while.
A little while?
Yeah.
You didn't want to, but you did. Why? Because she asked you to.
It wasn't even a question. It's just like he said, you hang out with people, and then one day is the right day, and it just happens. So it's not like anybody's here counting tickets. Here goes this day.
Right. With that time frame. I hear that you have an issue with the time frame. Okay, I hear that. But the reality is, and I don't know which one of you said it, men and women, this is one of those huge gender differences. When you have sex, you can have sex with, you can have meaningless sex. A higher percentage of men can have meaningless sex than women. I think, hold on, let me finish my thought. I believe, and I've been like live out loud, love out loud on this show. So my listeners who have been with me for 4 years know that I've come full circle on this because I didn't think I could do meaningless sex. And then I thought, but life is short and let me try it. And then I've come full circle because for most women, and Dr. Pat Allen talks about this a lot, is when we don't have orgasms if we're not emotionally intimate. Okay? Most women, not all women, most, not your wife. No, I'm not all. I'm going to be in trouble with your wife. So not all women, but I do believe that most of the women that I know, and I'm sure Kinsey Institute does studies on this, need to have some level of emotional or some intimacy more so than the man. And I had David Beck, who's a high school teacher who teaches sex ed, on the show, and he keeps saying a young teen guy, that's all they want, and they'll say anything to get what they want. Now maybe that's an age thing, but if that's the difference, then it cannot be just either no number or some number. Do you get that? I mean, is that fair? Okay. Jarvis is like making a face. What's the face for?
I mean, explain what you mean. No number.
Well, okay, so he's the extreme right here. No, you don't want to have a guideline because you go with the flow, and if it feels good, you should do it, and that's the standard. Okay, and I'm saying that for women, I'm going to speak on behalf of all the 3.5 billion women in the world. But most women, if things change after you have sex, and if you aren't intimate emotionally with a guy, which you cannot be on a first date if you just met them in a meetup or whatever, wherever you met them, you cannot have that kind of intimacy on an emotional level. You have physical or that lust. But then for a woman, most women, as soon as you have that sex, everything changes. For the guy, most guys, they have that sex and not everything changes. You just had sex and you had an orgasm, and hopefully she wasn't faking, if you can tell, and they had an orgasm and it was great. And if you feel like it, you go out again. If you don't feel like it, no harm, no foul. Is that fair? Like for most men, that's kind of like where you are. And for a woman, it's like, I meet a guy and I'm really attracted to him, and we go out, and he picked up the check, and he opened my door, and he's a great kisser, but I didn't want to think that I was loose or anything, but he's he wants it, but I can't wait for the next date, and I'm already thinking about is this the one that I'm gonna have kids with, and all of this other stuff, and once we have sex, and if you don't call, it's like, what did I do wrong, or what's wrong with you? So there's a whole different process that goes through with us that makes that first time so important. Will you agree to that? No? Who invited you on this panel anyway? Okay, you go.
I don't think about it. I wouldn't think that about a girl if she gave it up to me like at the first date. Like
honestly, you
I would
honestly
not.
don't
Because it's about
think.
us at this point, you know, and I'm not thinking about the past. The past is the past. I don't care about her and other guys. I care about what we're doing
Well,
now.
then
and
that's
what's moving
totally.
on.
I mean, I'm glad to hear it. I don't believe it, but I'm glad to hear it because that's what most women. You know, I talked to my teenage daughter's friends, and we were on the way to breakfast, and she said, you know, I can't. I want to have sex, but I'm not going to have sex because I'm afraid of what the guys will think of me. Mm-hmm. So, go figure. She's what, 17? No, doesn't happen.
No, I think again, just coming from a higher level of consciousness. I mean, you know, not to beat that in the ground, but it's just that, you know, I think as Moment was saying here that you're not, if you're looking for bottom feeders, you're going to find bottom feeders. Mm-hmm. You know, so we're both adults. We both agreed into this. If I'm forcing you or making you feel like you're unworthy or something like that in order for you to carry out this act, then yeah, those points are valid. Okay. But when we're just talking about we're both mutually want to do this, we make this happen, then that's how it is. But I would think that any woman that I would be with and any woman and any woman dealing with me would think that, wow, this dude is so much more than just sex, because there's something that got us there in the first place.
Okay.
Right.
So let me go back to that comment. Someone said it's not all about the sex, and it is all about the sex. So how important is a great sex life? And I would say I'm going to define great sex life as non-faked, really good orgasms. Oh, we have a caller? Oh. We have a caller where? On the okay. I'm afraid to answer the call. Is it a guy or a girl? We don't know. Okay. But go ahead, answer the call just for fun. Hi, welcome to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. You're on the air. Hello? Okay. Nope. They got scared. So is it how much of a good relationship is about the sex? So how do you define how important sex is?
It'll make or break the relationship.
Okay. So if you're not having, how many times a week would you say sex is like, when do you know you're in trouble?
Good sex, right?
Yeah, we're saying good sex. So let's define good sex. What's good sex? Put the moose on the table.
Good sex is, like you said, no faking it.
No faking it.
Please, I'm pleased. And the minute I get my break, I'm trying to go back.
Okay.
That type, you know.
Okay, so it's obsessive.
I don't know about obsessive, but
okay, but it's healthy. I mean, it's in the top 3 things that are important in relationships.
Yeah, I think sex is
number 1.
Money.
Number 1. Number 2. Number 3.
I would say money first, sex
money
second.
First, sex second.
And then the loyalty between those two.
Okay. The loyalty. Okay. When you say money, what do you mean by that? Just curious.
Ain't nobody can't have fun if you broke.
Okay. So
relationship ain't gonna work if you're both broke.
Okay. So you have the money to play and sex.
Or at least the money to live and survive.
Okay. So Jim, how top 3?
Top 3, I would say my number 1 would be chemistry. You know, you got to have the good energy. You got to have, good things going between the two. Number 2, I would definitely say loyalty. Mm-hmm. And then 3, I would say communication. I think communication is huge between a relationship. Okay.
Clyde?
I would say communication, great sex, chemistry. I would combine those 2. And the third one would be responsibility, being with someone who's responsible. And that I'm responsible, so that we respect that relationship.
Okay, Josh.
I don't know about what number, but I think it's important because you go through a lot of ups and downs. So if that's bad too, it's kind of like So I think it definitely would be a good glue to kind of help.
Yeah, I call it the glue too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good. Jarvis.
I don't remember the question.
Oh, you don't remember? You're not listening? You're just running the board? Top 3 important things in where does sex fall in the importance in a relationship?
Communication, trust, and then sex.
Okay, so sex is 3. And we are button up against the time of the show where I thank the sponsors who made this particular fascinating show possible. So we'll be back in 2 and 2. Peace in, peace out. Is building your own website or revamping your current site on your bucket list? How about finally making that mobile app idea a reality? Are you ready to launch your web or mobile app with creativity in class? Then BDM Creative is your partner in time. Branding development and media specialist, BDMcreative.com can show off your $1 million web or mobile app with affordable price packages. And if you mention Dr. Marissa, you'll receive 25% off your first project, so don't delay. Contact www.bdmcreative.com today. That's www.bdmcreative.com today.
Celebrate life on the beach and learn to surf with the M&M Surfing School. Whether it's on your bucket list or not, it's time to learn how to ride the waves. M&M provides you with everything you need. Safety first, affordable rates, equipment from ages 5 to 105, and expert instruction for all levels. Call 714-846-7873. That's 714, the letter U, go surf, and come to Seal Beach and start your life all over again with M&M. Register now at www.surfingschool.com.
And welcome back. You are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon on UBN Universal Broadcasting Network and on Thursdays at 7 p.m. on KCAA AM 1050, my CNBC Talk Radio channel. And today we are doing sexual healing with Dr. Marissa, the new Asian Dr. Ruth. And I have for the first time my virgin, no, they're not virgins, but my virgin panel of men to tell me what it's like on the other side, thanks to co-producer Jarvis Essex, who got butted out of the camera because I had too many men today. Never can have too many men, but Jarvis is piping in as well. So the next question we are going to is, do you feel women play too many games? Do they play too many games? Let's start with Josh.
Okay. Yeah, maybe sometimes they're not as clear. Like us guys, we're definitely not mind readers, and we don't understand women most of the time. And so I think we need a little help. So as far as being clear, maybe a little games in that way, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna act this way so he don't think this or that or whatever. And we're just like, hey, we just want to know, do you like me or not? You know, we're simple. So I think maybe the more complexity, like you were saying, think more complexity about the opposite sex. It might turn into like, yeah, I think a little bit. Maybe it would be good if women were more straightforward with men. Some women, some don't.
Right,
some do,
but here's the trick again. Here's that BS, that belief system that gets in the way. So I'm talking to my 15-year-old, and she's not had a relationship yet. And she's watching her sister, who's 17, having a good relationship, and the guys that she likes don't return the feelings, and the guys that like her, she doesn't feel the same way about them. And I told her, right or wrong, I said, it's weird, it's not right, but it's, if you go to them, if you make it known that you are attracted to them, they will back off. But if you play it cool, they'll come to you, or they will be more interested. Right or wrong? Not right or wrong, true or not true.
Depending on the person.
Depends on the person.
With.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you like a woman, okay, and how do you show a woman that you like the woman? Okay, this is a perfect question. Thank you. Because here's the deal. I'll cross someone in a hallway or something, and they'll look at me, and I'll look at them, and there will be this smile, and they won't do anything. They keep going, right? And I'm like, and then I'll sit there and say,
He might be doing
I
you a favor.
should. Okay. I like that answer. But it's like, if you really like a woman, you're going to do something, or are you afraid these days that women are so independent and so strong that you're expecting them to make the first move? Oh, perfect question. Thank you.
I don't never expect a woman to make the first move.
Okay.
The eye contact is pretty much, especially with women, I'm real straightforward.
Okay.
And I don't, not the type of, I get the response I don't want, that I'm going to be crushed afterwards. You know, I had an old man tell me once, you know, every no going to get you closer to a yes. So,
okay. So you're not afraid of no's?
Not at all.
Okay. Okay. Jim?
I really think it depends on the individual. You know, I've met girls who are like aggressive and they'll come after me, or vice versa, you know what I mean? Or girls that will make the eye contact and expect me to do something. So I think it really just depends on the individual.
So have you ever not made a move when you were attracted to a woman? Every time you're attracted to a woman, you make a move?
No, I don't.
Okay,
No.
why? Why?
I have to admit, sometimes I might be scared, or, you know, think that maybe she doesn't want to talk to me, or maybe she's just being nice, you know. So there's times that I have passed up opportunities.
And you regret it?
No. I don't. I've moved on. But I have found out before that girls that I liked actually liked me, but I never did anything about it. So you live and you learn. So
Right. Okay. Clyde?
So I would say, you know, sometimes you see people and you go, wow, she's a beautiful woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's just a passing thought, like, wow, she's a beautiful woman. And then, so it's not for me to do anything or for her to do anything. It's just acknowledging beauty, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or even acknowledging someone's energy, because you may see somebody who's not, like, aesthetically may not be attractive, but their energy is so beautiful that you see beauty in that person. You go like, wow, that person is beautiful, right? So I think I'm like with him is that I've seen women that I'm like, but then, you know, just because the universe works that way, we've run into each other somewhere else, and it's like, wow, I saw you back there, I saw you in another life, or you know, whatever, you know. And
So it's got to be more than once for it to gel.
No, it's just like sometimes I'm like, I should go make that move now, and then it's like, nah, because either she's with her friends, or or this, whatever, the time doesn't seem right. So then,
Are you off put when the woman makes the first move?
Not at all.
Not. Have you ever reciprocated? Like, have you ever not been interested in a woman and then the woman comes up to you and become interested, and vice versa? Have you ever been interested, but as soon as she was forward, become not interested? Josh?
No, definitely not.
So if a woman's interested, it's a good thing all the way around.
Oh yeah.
So if they have the balls,
Yes.
not literally,
Yeah.
to go and say something.
Definitely.
Okay, women, you're listening to this, so no harm, no foul.
I think they should, because I think a lot of guys, like the guy walking the hallway, if he smiled at you, maybe he did want to talk to you, but maybe he was afraid of getting turned down. I think a lot of guys are afraid of getting rejected, and because sometimes too, girls can be mean. Oh no, get away, or you know, something crazy like that. So guys are thinking, am I gonna want to go through that right now? Maybe, and if maybe you like smile or even said, oh hi, you know, that would have totally opened it up for that guy to be like, oh hey, and maybe have a little more confidence. So I think the more the women meets the guy in the middle is not bad, because there might be mutual attraction and the guy might be nervous, you know.
Can strong women be intimidating though?
I think this kind of going to.
Am I
Josh is saying.
intimidating? Let me just put that
No,
moose on the
no,
table.
no,
I'm not
but-
into. Dang, I gotta work on that.
You know something, women, so like if you're a man and you go to a woman, you make an approach, and then she's not interested, then she tells you she's not interested, and if you trip, then you're tripping. Everybody, oh, he's tripping. Yeah, he should just get that, you know, he's not my type or whatever. But let a woman, especially if she thinks she's the business, come to you and try to get at you, and then you don't. You either have to be gay, there's something wrong with you. She comes up with all this stuff.
That's
like,
true.
you know, yeah, it's just all this other stuff. Like, what's wrong with him? You know, or you're arrogant, you're cocky, whatever. But it's like, what happened to like whatever you just said? I'm just not interested, right? So Yeah, so as a man, you have to. It's almost sometimes you have to walk this fine line because, in LA, especially LA, where there's the circles, you're not gonna. Our circles are small, even though this is a big city. Circles are fairly small. So you're like, oh yeah, I think he's gay because I tried to talk to him and he wanted to talk to me. It's like, really? How about I just didn't want to talk
Sounds
to you?
personal,
right?
Clyde.
How about I just didn't want to talk to you, right? You
All
may
right.
be gay.
All right. All right. We got that one. All right. Let's see. How do you feel about online dating?
Never done it.
Never done it? Well, you're married.
I think it's a good tool for people that actually, aren't outgoing enough to approach somebody that they like.
Okay.
It kind of gives them something to hide behind, I guess. It gives them the courage to work up to actually meeting the person.
Are you on online dating?
No.
Okay.
I'm old school. So.
Okay, you're old school. So how do you meet women?
I just meet them out and about at the gym. I don't know, everywhere. Going out, stuff like that.
Okay. All right. Online dating? Nope. You're above that? Below that?
No, I mean, I'm cool with it. I mean, if I run into somebody like cool online, cool. But like, it's not a big deal. But I'd rather if I see you in the store, because that catfishing thing.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah. I did a whole show on that actually before. Josh?
Yeah, I'm
Not
not. I wouldn't look to it as like, oh, there's going to be a lot of success there.
Okay.
I wouldn't
All
look at
right.
it like that. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
in the real world you have more. Yeah,
All right.
That's what I think.
What's one thing you wish women did in bed more often? Oh. That okay, yeah, and you should be looking. I wish the camera was on Jarvis right now because he came up with that question. So
Thanks, Jarvis.
yeah, you can blame that on him. It's he wants to know. He wants to know.
Yeah, we have a voice now.
Yes. All right, who wants to tackle that one?
I'll
Okay.
say go downstairs. I'll say that. I think
Okay.
maybe in the
That's the
from-
most.
That's something that comes to mind. I think.
Okay.
And these guys are nodding, so I think they're
Or bring somebody with her.
easy one.
Hey, there you go. That's what's up.
Oh, you're so.
You went off the deep end.
Hey, sharing is caring.
We just went all the way.
I got 24
Okay, so
hours left.
yeah, so
It's on my death.
it's not often that I'm momentarily speechless, but let's talk about porn for a second here. So one of the criticisms of porn is it gives guys unrealistic expectations of what women actually enjoy. Okay, and what's the, I guess the tangent on that is how shut up, Clyde. The body language, the facial expression. I know you think how do you know you're pleasing your woman? I mean, how do you know? Do you talk about it? And do you ask? What's your reaction? It's a multiple question here. Multiple orgasm, multiple question. How do you know, or how would you prefer a woman say to you, that's not quite what I'm looking for? I mean, that's one of the things we've talked about on the show, is it's so difficult for women to actually say, this is what I would like, because the fear is, or personal experience with men who are like, what? What do you mean? I know what I'm doing. Don't tell me what I know. This works for everybody else. If you're not having an orgasm, there's something wrong with you. So let's hit that question.
Usually when we're done and she says, "Oh my gosh, Jimmy Everett," I usually know I nailed it.
But what if she said, Jimmy?
If she doesn't say anything, then I get concerned. And I start asking questions. So,
You like some juice.
that was our first time. It always gets better after that.
So it wouldn't bother you if she said, "Can we try something else?"
No, not at all. I mean,
No,
no.
Clyde. I know you got something to say.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm like, it's your show. I'm a performer. You tell me what to do and tell me how you want it, and that's how we'll do it.
You don't get insulted? No. Okay.
Because, I mean, look, you tell me what you like, because I can't compare you to the other person. Tell me what you like, and then we'll do what you like. And then
So women, you heard it. The men, most men, at least the men on my panel, would prefer that you say something instead of pretending. Yes? Yes?
Yes.
Resounding
that whole
yes.
thing of, you know what I like, or I like what every other woman likes. No, I don't know. Right?
we don't. Clue us in, please.
Okay.
Communication.
Okay. All right. Jarvis, we've
No, I
got
would
time
say-
for like, oh, you're going to answer.
No, I want
and
to
then,
say communication is the key. I think that a conscientious man with a good heart that wants to please his woman, he wants to please her. So he wants to know what is working and what's not working. Now, the key is how that woman communicates that.
Yes.
If she's going to communicate it in a respectful way, because we want to be respected. And we kind of...
So to give me some language that is disrespectful, so we get it. So we get
Well,
it. Clue.
if you're complaining, if you're saying something in a complaining way,
Okay.
you know, or pointing out what he's not doing well,
Like while
as
it's
opposed to-
happening. Like while it's happening, I think.
exactly
Is more,
in the moment, right?
In the
if you're
moment's
like,
not
no,
good.
No.
not there. No. You know, that's. But
That ain't
I
it.
think you should wait till like more like
What was that?
off time when you're not in the moment.
What did you say, Clyde?
That ain't it.
yeah. I think not at that time if it's not pleasing
Okay,
for women.
so
She
it's
should write
better-
it out, and then at different times say, hey, I like this in bed, and then next time, then he can try to.
Okay,
I
so
think
that's really important.
think
It's
that's good.
better not in the moment. It's better afterwards. Okay,
Work
you're
towards
not going to say, "But why didn't you tell me then?"
No.
No. Okay. All right. So what is another what turns you guys off? There's a good question. What turns you off in bed and out of bed? What turns you off in bed and out of bed?
I don't know if we would even get in bed if I was. I think what Jarvis is saying is really communication. It's like, how do we communicate? Because to me, and it may sound like cliche, but like the biggest sex organ I have is my brain. So stimulate me mentally, because I can take care of me physically. So stimulate me in a way that you become my fantasy, so that I'm there with you, so that I can correspond with you. Like when you move this way, I know to move that way, because we're in tune, right? So really, it's just the energy that's there. If I don't have that energy with somebody, that chemistry, we probably like, hey, I'm the cool friend, right? I don't have to be the guy, even though physically I might be attracted to you, but mentally, if I'm not, it's just not interesting.
Okay, Jim, turn-ons, turn-offs.
I would have to say the same thing. Like, you got to have a connection. If there's no connection, then there's no point in going there.
What makes the connection?
Just the energy that we were talking about in the first question. Just having that energy with somebody, you just know. It's like it's more than physical attraction.
Okay. Have you ever had that chemistry and then you get to bed and then something goes very wrong, like a turn off?
Like bad hygiene.
Bad
Yeah.
hygiene. That's a turn off.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's clean.
That's a
Bad
turn off.
hygiene
Yeah.
is turn off.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we heard it here.
Keep it clean, ladies.
I've seen some women that are built like a Mercedes, but they operate like a Nissan. They just
What's that mean?
Like they're built like it's going to be a great ride, and then when you start to make love to them, it's like, wow, you like a go-kart. Like,
Well, what makes a go-kart though? What makes a go? What?
Would you drive a go-kart to San Diego?
No, but I mean, tell me,
okay.
give me an example of a go-kart. Like,
So like,
inflexible.
They there's no movement. You're like,
Just
you're
laying
like,
there.
okay, let's move together, and they're like, it's like you're listening to music, but they're listening to a different song.
Okay.
But you're at the club. You ever see people who have no rhythm when they're at the club?
Okay, so
It's
no
like-
rhythm in bed is a
Yeah,
okay.
no
Hygiene, no rhythm in
rhythm,
bed.
yeah.
Anything else?
She's just not working.
She's not working.
Yeah, she's not moving.
Yeah.
Not doing
She's
that.
not.
just
She's
there.
not. Okay, she's
She's a
just.
diving board.
She's not a partner, right? She's just receiving.
pretty much.
Okay,
If-
but okay.
If a girl is just gonna like lay there and then that's not gonna be as much fun for a guy as a girl who's like willing to like do as much work as. If a girl's willing to do as much work as the guy, that's usually a good sign, I
but
think.
that's like there's
no,
another huge BS here because this seems like the expectation is the woman, the thing that you asked for more of. So I've been in situations where it's like I am, and then there's no reciprocation. We go from there, and then it's there, and then it's done, and then where was I?
Yeah, you got
like
played.
where? Yeah, I did get played or not played. I did not get played. That's the whole problem, right? I had to say it's your turn, But that's like I don't want to have to say that.
That's bad sex.
So what?
Goes both ways, I think.
So it goes both ways.
both ways.
But
But
I
for
would
us,
say, but
definitely,
that's the
I think.
problem with porn. I think it teaches that it's the expectation is the man is the driver literally, and that he gets pleased very quickly, and there's very much less for the women.
Yeah, but
porn, go ahead.
That
bro.
would go deeper than porn, Marissa.
Deeper?
We could talk about
Deeper?
society. I mean,
Sorry, I could not resist.
You're deep driving. That's all.
Yeah, a deep dive. All right. Anyways, sorry, Jarvis. We've got like 2 minutes. Go ahead.
no, I was just saying that can go deeper than just porn. That could be a societal construct as well.
That it's
Of how we've
more
been
important
conditioned.
the more important the men
Right.
to get
the woman
right.
pleases the
Right.
woman barefoot and pregnant.
Yeah,
woman pleases the man. And
That's why we're doing
yeah.
this show. That's why I'm doing this series is because we want to balance
When you watch
that out.
porn, they expect every man to be hung like a porn star. You need to produce for 45 minutes, an hour. Well, they don't know that they cut and then go back and cut and they put it all together. It looks like one thing, instead of like, so that goes both ways.
Right. The expectations. The expectations. All right. And unfortunately, I can't believe we're out of time. We're going to have to definitely do a part 2 in this because that was fun. I have 4 minutes to go through my balance bar. But before I do, thank you so much to my virgin male panel, Ramon and Jim, Clyde and Joshua. Big round of applause. I'll give you a hand job right now. It's called applause. Thank you so much. It's been illuminating. Thank you, Jarvis, for putting this together. And we are at the end of the show, which is my balance bar, where I tell you where to find me and what's going on. So this weekend, if you have nothing to do, please do join me at the LAX Marriott for the Revelation Conference. I will be teaching on Saturday morning at 7 a.m., yes, early, Balanced Tai Chi Gong, which is my promoting inner peace one breath at a time, Tai Chi, Qigong, and a little bit of a balanced treatment. So join me Saturday. You can go to agapelive.com to get registration information. On June 18th, I am the keynote speaker for Health to Wealth Expo. Go to abaie.org for more information and to sign up. That one's free, so I expect to see you there. 21-day fast from complaining starts again, round 48, ending my 4th year, online with tips on how not to complain. Please go to GoFundMe/HRAXLO if you'd like to support the making of the app that's going to go with this 21-day good life habit called Not Complaining. And my Asian Oprah giveaway today is the men on this panel. No, I'm kidding. Actually, who's single? Who's single still? Okay, Clyde single? Are you single? No? Okay, so Clyde's up he's my Asian Oprah giveaway. If you would like to contact him, you have to go through me. No, I'm kidding.
Let me, I'm in a relationship. I'm single in the sense that I'm not
Oh,
married.
okay. So you're okay. So you're in a relationship. Oh yeah, you were almost got in big trouble. So now I'm gonna have to give something. Jarvis is single though. Oh, okay, but you don't have a picture. Well, you have to go check him out on Facebook. But what I would like to do is give away one of my DVDs, the Balanced Tai Chi Gong DVD. So if you go to forbalance.org on my website and on the guest book say free DVD, I'll get you one. And that's all for this week. Tune in next week for another scintillating Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa Pay. That's P for positive, EI. Remember, it's all about balance. Peace in and peace out.
learned to cry at an early age. People around me, my heart in a cage. Life was a book, don't turn a page. I couldn't see past my rage. I wanted to dance, but I pushed you away. Now I'm on my knees, I'll listen to what you say. And you said, be my partner, dance with me. Just hold on, I